Well, as I always say, here we are again. We're somewhere. Seamus, it's good to have you with us today. Well, it's certainly good to be here, Kenny. I see that we're outside. Yeah, the weather's turned and we're going to get outside a bit. I don't know where the old-timer is. Well, he's probably home doing something, but he said he'd be here, so I'm looking forward to seeing him. Well, I hope so. What are we up to today, Kenny? Well, we're going to take a look at this right here. Do you know what those are, Seamus? Well, I do. We have them in Ireland all over the place. They're daffodils. And they're really pretty daffodils, too. Can you get in on those a little closer, Kenny? I think I can. I think they're called, Seamus, I think they're called trumpet daffodils, but they're really pretty. Sitting next to a log here. You're right, Kenny, they really are pretty.
Hey, you guys, how are ya? Oh boy, I know what we're doing.
Hey, old-timer, how are you? It's good to see you.
Yeah, it is good to see ya, old-timer. Where you been? Well, Martha and I were sitting and talking about stuff. You know how that goes. Endless stuff. Endless. I see we're doing daffodils. I know about daffodils.
Yeah, we are going to do daffodils today. And so I was going to read a poem about daffodils. Do you guys know the most famous poem about daffodils? No, I don't. And I should know because Ireland's full of poets. We're good poets over there. I don't know the name of the poem, Kenny. What is it? Well, it's called I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud by William Wordsworth.
What's that have to do with daffodils? I mean, he's wandering around like a cloud.
Well, I'll read it to you and you'll see.
Oh, good. You going to read it or am I going to?
I think Kenny ought to read it, not you, old-timer. You know how you are with poetry.
Yeah, I don't really like poetry, but you go ahead, Kenny, and give it a go.
All right, I will. See what happens. I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud by William Wordsworth. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of dancing daffodils. Along the lake, beneath the trees, 10,000 dancing in the breeze. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a laughing company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth that show to me had brought. For oft when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye, which is the bliss of solitude, and then my heart with pleasure fills, and dances with the daffodils.
Oh, I like that poem, Kenny. As I said, I'm not much of a poet, but I like the bit about the solitude.
Oh yeah, that's the part where he says, which is the bliss of solitude, and then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. Well, I must say, Kenny, you read that really nice. Do you read a lot of poetry? No, I don't read a lot of poetry. I like poems. I have a friend who's a poet, and I don't write any poetry. Do you write any poetry, Seamus? Well, we had to write poetry when we were in school, and I wasn't very good at it, I have to admit. Did you write any poetry there, old-timer?
Well, yeah, I did once. I wrote Martha a poem. All she did was laugh, but I told her I loved her and tried to rhyme words, but it didn't come out very well, so Guess you could say I really haven't written any poetry. But anyhow, that was a good poem. What's his name again, Kenny?
Henry Wadsworth. I wandered lonely as a cloud. Probably his most famous poem. It's been studied all over the world, and the English study it a lot. And but when he first wrote it, it wasn't accepted. People thought it was like a little, Do that again.
There you go. I like it when you do that, Kenny. Let me try it.
That's pretty good, old-timer. Pretty good. Well, there you have it. Daffodils. I'm going to do a little more close-ups on these daffodils, so let's see what happens. They're so delicate looking, and they are sort of waving in the breeze. They'll be gone soon because spring has just come. They're a spring flower, and they're bulbs that you plant in the ground, and they pop up every year. Whether you like it or not, there they are.
I really like them. We have a lot of tulips in our house. Tulips, I like tulips. Do you have anything like that, Seamus?
No, I don't. Boys, I live in an apartment, and me and the other boys there, the other lads, we're not much in for gardening, We don't have any room to garden, really, so there's not much to do.
Well, that's too bad, because it's really fun. So there we are, right, Kenny?
Yep, there we are. Short but sweet. Daffodils. Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. So, boys, I guess we'll see you next time. What are you guys up to today?
Well, I'm going to see if I can get Seamus to take me down to the pub. What do you think, Seamus?
No, I'm sorry, old-timer. I can't go today. I got to go and see if I can get me bicycle fixed. The bicycle's got a flat tire, and I don't have any tubes to fix it.
Well, I'll drive you, okay?
Oh, that would be a big help, old-timer. Thanks a lot. Well, okay, boys. I guess we're out of here. So, as we always say, suggestions, criticisms, and accolades.
What's that mean, Kenny, accolades?
That means when somebody says, you really did a good job.
Nobody's going to say that about this show, that's for sure.
Well, you never know, old-timer. You never know when the big money comes in. Oh, boy, we're going to get the accolades. Well, you guys, I wouldn't count on that. So, say goodbye, boys. See you later. See you later.
Yeah, see you later, as Seamus just said.
Okay, catch you next time. Over and out.